Welcome back everyone, Racer X here, and today I thought I would put a quick video together for you guys about the bomb that Chevrolet just dropped on us. If you guys thought the ZR1 Corvette was bad to the bone, and it is very much bad to the bone, they just dropped something even better. And by my estimation, it will be an absolute Demon 170 killer by every metric out there. So this is the most wild production car ever to come out of America, in my estimation, and it is going to be nasty. Today we will talk about Chevy's new ZR1X, and it should be a fun one. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please do me a big gigantic favor. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can find that right over here. Only 19% of you guys watching at home are subscribed to the channel, and it costs absolutely nothing. And with that said, off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Guys, check it out. I am back in Largo, Florida at the Dream Giveaway Garage. They have a brand new giveaway that I want to show you. It is their 0 to 60 giveaway. Take a look at this. And here it is in the flesh, sublime and black. I absolutely love the color scheme on this car. 19 miles. This is a 2023 jailbreak Challenger Hellcat. Just take a look at how beautiful this thing is. What a beast. And this is a manual car. They're only going to keep this giveaway going for 60 days. This is one of their fastest giveaways that they have ever done. You can see the Hellcat graphics here on the side. They're actually going to change this cap out to black. They're going to put black badges on this car. But I love the fact that this car is a manual. And like I said, you really can't find these anywhere right now. This one is literally 19 miles, guys. Brand new. You can see the all-black interior. There it is, the 6-speed manual, guys. This thing would be an absolute blast to drive on the street. As I mentioned, the 0 to 60 giveaway ends at the end of June. So in a few short weeks, they will actually stop letting people enter to win this car. If you're interested in a Bad Daddy manual Hellcat with no miles in Sublime, go to Dream Giveaway's website, enter my code RACERX, and you will get not 3 but 4X entries for this beast. So don't miss out on this. I will pin a link in the comments to make it easy to find, and I can't wait to see who wins. For those of you guys that follow Chevrolet and the Corvette, you're probably well aware that back in 2019 they introduced us to the C8 Corvette for the 2020 model year, the world's first mid-engine Corvette. And it really did change a lot of the handling characteristics of the car. It didn't spin nearly as bad because now you have all the weight over the rear axle. It was more of just a point-and-go type feel in this car. Felt more like a cockpit on the inside. A lot of your Corvette purists weren't really crazy about this change because it felt more like a European sports car or supercar than a traditional Corvette. But I really like a lot of the changes they made with the C8. It is basically a bargain mid-engine supercar, if you will. And Chevrolet has always kind of done this thing where they release a series of different cars, kind of one-upping themselves year after year, and this is no exception, right? We know that the Z51 package on the C8 Corvette yielded 495 horsepower. And then they kind of went off their rocker and they gave us a Bad Daddy Z06, which we were expecting, but a naturally aspirated Z06, 670 naturally aspirated horsepower out of a flat plane crank 5.5 liter screaming 8-cylinder engine, hand built, and that thing is so much fun to drive. I love the way that thing screams on the street. It handles like an absolute beast, and a lot of people that own the Z06 really like the handling characteristics of that car. And then all of a sudden, they gave us the ZR1. We were expecting that. And the ZR1, once again, 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8, but they strapped twin turbos to it, gave it a whole bunch of new technology, and it made 1,064 horsepower. Matter of fact, it set all sorts of records out there on the Nürburgring. I mean, it's doing all sorts of damage out there. People are losing their minds over the ZR1 Corvette. And I think that is an absolutely wicked car. I would love to own one of those. Of course, we're getting up there in price, which we will touch on. So you went from 495 horsepower, 670 naturally aspirated horsepower, the most powerful naturally aspirated American engine ever to go in a production car. And that wasn't good enough. So then they gave us the ZR1 at 1,064 horsepower, trumping the mighty Demon 170 in terms of American production cars and how much horsepower they make. And then today we find out they're giving us the ZR1X. And I kind of like that letter X, so you can imagine. But now we're looking at 1,250 horsepower. Now, I was under the impression that this was going to be the Zora, which was like the final boss of the C8 Corvettes. Typically, you know, you had the ZR1 sort of being the bad daddy of all of them. 1,064 horsepower, what more could you ask for, right? But now all of a sudden they're dropping the ZR1X on us, and it should be out by the end of this year. 1,250 horsepower, so it's that same LT7 engine out there making 1,064 horsepower, twin turbos, all sorts of great technology on that engine. Plus, they strapped an electric motor to the front axle, 184 horsepower, making it 1,250 total horsepower, and it's not gonna spin. Just think about that for a second and how amazing this car is gonna be. Before we even jump to the statistics on the ZR1X, and we don't know all of them yet, let's just talk about how amazing the ZR1 is, because people are just now starting to get a hold of these cars, and I would imagine you're going to start seeing a lot of content on the ZR1 here over the course of like the next month and a half, and we kind of know some of the statistics on the ZR1 already. We're seeing 0 to 60 times like 2.2, 2.3. Now this is with street tires, guys. This is a very, very impressive car. Top speed is like 230 something mile an hour on this car. I mean, your quarter mile is going to be somewhere in the mid 9s on this. It's just, I mean, just mind blowing how capable the ZR1 is going to be. Now, it is not a cheap car. 175 grand is the starting price with no markup. So if you pay markup on this car and you put any sort of stuff on the car that you would actually want, when I spec'd mine out, I think it was $195,000. And when I say I spec'd it out, I literally just went to the website. I mean, we're talking about getting way, way up there in price, but a very, very capable car in the ZR1. We're seeing what it's doing on the Nürburgring. And I mean, I just can't wait to watch all the content on this car. And then right away, they released this ZR1X, which, like I said, I thought they were going to call this thing the Zora. Maybe that changed, but I assume that's what this car is. I mean, 1,250 horsepower. They're saying 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds.
You really have to feel the acceleration and the cornering in this car. The throwback feeling in the seat at full throttle is just unbelievable. It truly is the pinnacle of Corvette.
Now, I just want to remind you guys that this thing is going to be all-wheel drive with an electric assist. So it's going to be like the E-Ray on steroids. And we didn't even talk about the E-Ray being 650 horsepower. I kind of skipped over that one and went right to the Z06, but we have that trim out there as well, which is an amazing trim. But we're talking basically double the horsepower of an E-Ray. And an E-Ray is already really, really fast on the street because of that electric assist, that drive motor on the front axle. So this thing is just better than the E-Ray in basically every single way. And I just can't even fathom this. So 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. I would imagine it's going to come in at like 1.8 seconds on street tires. Who knows what the top speed is going to be? They have not released that information yet. But the quarter mile in under 9 seconds on street tires. How wild is that? I mean, you're reaching a level of performance that is basically unheard of by anything else out there. So we know this is going to be an absolute monster of a car, right? There's no denying this is going to be just an insane car. But here's what's going to kick most of your Corvette enthusiasts right between the New Balances. It's going to be the price, right? Because traditionally Corvette is supposed to be a lot more affordable than your Italian or your British counterparts, right? Your McLarens, your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, all that kind of stuff. And we are going to be getting up there basically into that same realm when it comes to pricing, although there'll be more performance there, right? I mean, this is going to kick McLaren square in the jaw. It is going to just crush Lamborghini. I mean, really just about anything else out there. I mean, a 765, as fast as it is and as amazing as it is, it's not going to hold a candle to the performance of this new ZR1X.
The quickest Corvette ever at 1,250 horsepower, taking front axle electrification, pairing that with the LT7 engine, truly has turned this into our first hypercar.
But Corvettes have really kind of gone crazy when it comes to pricing. As I mentioned, they're supposed to be a lot more affordable than those cars I just mentioned. But you talk about a well-equipped C8 Corvette. I mean, a 3LT, you can spend 6 figures on that, right? And then when you're talking about a Z06, you can spend anywhere between like 135 and 185. And we know there's lots of different trim levels of this car. And then we know the ZR1, which is just now coming out. I mean, mean, really anywhere between 175 and 200 and up, right? I mean, we're going to start seeing some of these sticker in the low 200s by the time you put the carbon package on it and do all the other stuff you want to do to that car. And then if they start charging markup, you may see people paying $300,000 for a ZR1 Corvette. Like I said, you're getting over 1,000 horsepower, a ton of capability, a relatively exclusive car. They're not going to build a ton of these, but that's a lot of freaking money. So this car, while they've not released the price on it, I would guess is probably going to base somewhere in the maybe 230 range to 240 range. And you're going to have a really hard time getting your hands on one of these. They're not going to build a ton of them, I can promise you that. So they're going to be pretty exclusive. And it would not surprise me to see people paying $350,000 to get their hands on one of these. So it's not like your average dude is going to be able to get one of these things. Matter of fact, most of your influencers out there aren't going to be able to get one of these either, myself included. As much as I would love to have one, it makes no sense for me to go out and even try to get something like that. And believe me, I would have a ton of fun with it. I would not be one of those guys that would have a garage queen just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. You guys know that's not really me. I mean, I've even been doing some stuff behind the scenes with this car that I've not showed you guys yet. But obviously we know my Demon 170, you know, I recently sold it. I did everything I wanted to do with that car. So yes, I'm looking for some more cars for the channel, but that car just would not make any sense. But what an amazing machine. I just can't imagine how much fun it would be to own one of those, put it through its paces. I just can't see anything really messing with that car. I mean, and really the whole premise of this video was, look, how does this compare to the Demon 170? Because we know the Demon 170, I mean, you guys saw me go through my struggles on launching that car and how it would, you know, how it would spin a lot of times. And I finally was able to beat Brooks in the Plaid. I ran a 9.1 versus his 9.2, and I did run a 9.04 in that car. But this car will be more consistent because it's all-wheel drive and it's not an electric car that will consistently and easily beat the Plaid. A car that will consistently beat a Lucid Air Sapphire that runs like 9.0. Because, like I said, this is all-wheel drive with an electric assist. So while it may spin a little bit, if you even put a set of drag radials on it, this thing is going to hook and absolutely book. And I would imagine in terms of you know, mile per hour on the big end, it's probably going to be in the 156, 158 range. It is going to absolutely haul the mail on the big end of the track. And I mean, with 0 to 60 times almost as fast as a Demon 170 that's getting traction. I mean, we're not talking about spinning, we're talking about full traction with a big 60-foot wheelie like I did. This is almost as fast in the 60-foot as that, and it will definitely make more mile an hour. So Chevrolet definitely made a Demon 170 killer. And not to mention, it's not kind of a one-trick pony, right? It's not like it just does it on the drag strip. It's going to rip up the Nürburgring. It is going to be an absolute beast in terms of roll racing. Who knows what the top speed of this will be? It would 240, 250, it's hard to say, but they won't be governing it at 150 mile an hour like they had to do with the Demon 170. It is literally going to be able to do everything extremely well. So really, that's kind of the big thing I wanted to mention with it is we know a Demon 170 takes a lot of skill to get down through there and run your 9.0s and 9.1s, and all the conditions have to be perfect. And yes, you'll want to have some good air with this car, but I would imagine with just a little bit of practice in the ZR1, you could go out and run, you know, high 8s, low 9s, and be able to beat up on just about any other production car out there. And I think there's something to be said for that. Like I said, I still like the fact that you have to have a lot of skill to drive the Demon 170, but it's tough, right? Like I said, you got to have really everything working in your favor. But you get out in some good DA in that new ZR1X, and you'll be putting a hurt on some folks because, like I said, I don't think it's really going to spin much. There won't be a lot of fanfare to it. It's just going to be really, really fast. And if you guys were ever looking for a car that would just smack down the new electrics, granted, they'll have some other electrics coming down. I mean, if Tesla ever builds that Roadster, who knows what's going to happen. But this car, I mean, I think this car could beat something like a Lucid Air Sapphire making 1,400 something pound-feet of torque. It's just going to be a missile because this is going to be a lot lighter. And man, I wish I could get my hands on one of these guys, but I don't have an extra 350K sitting around to even attempt it. Anyway, guys, let me know what side of the fence you're on with this new ZR1X. Do you feel like it is just way too much money for a Corvette? A lot of you guys are going to be in that boat. Or could you go the other direction with it and think about it like, hey, look, you could go out and spend $700,000 on a Lamborghini Revuelto, or you could spend $450,000 on a 765 McLaren, and you're going to run circles around those cars with this new ZR1X because the thing is just going to be a monster. I mean, it really just kind of depends on your viewpoint on things, but I'd love to hear it in the comments. So guys, let me know, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.
ZR1X is the brand new hypercar to the Chevy brand. We're now elevated into a whole new category with a car that is truly going to shock the world.